Welcome to this month's Exercise of the Month. Happy New Year, everyone. It's January. We are going to talk a little bit about habit formation and some little tricks I do with some of my patients. I think the most important thing, if you're going to make a big difference or you're going to start that journey to making a difference with regards to health and fitness, is to start small and achievable. It might just be something easy to do or something that fits around your day-to-day life. My favourite trick for doing this is tying it in to a day-to-day activity or a routine that you have. If you can make something as routine as brushing your teeth is, that you would feel weird if you didn't do it, then you've won the battle. Now, I take that one step further and I actually get people doing exercises while they're brushing their teeth. The most important thing with this, because it's only 2 minutes, you're not going to get a great deal out of 2 minutes twice a day. It's great if you've got one of those little electric toothbrushes with the timers on, by the way, because you can make sure it's 2 minutes every time. But it's not a great deal of time. So the most important thing with it is to identify, whether it's with your chiropractor, with your massage therapist, identify a weakness that you know you need to work on. It could be something really simple like balance. If you're going to work on balance, the easiest way to do that, particularly while you're brushing your teeth, is just to stand on one leg. One in the morning, one in the evening. You've got 2 minutes solid standing on one leg. Your balance will improve dramatically and very, very quickly. It's especially difficult once you start moving your centre of gravity around and trying to control it as you're brushing your teeth. That can be then made harder by tapping the toe in different points, but that's a little bit hard to coordinate while you're brushing your teeth, but easy enough to do once you get used to it. 2 minutes of that, really, really simple. So if your weakness is balance, that's a good place to start. Look at things like endurance or the muscular strength in the glutes and the legs. This is very common for people who suffer from low back pain. And that can be something as simple as doing a squat. We've gone through squats. We want to make sure that your heels are on the ground, your feet are fairly parallel, and your knees are pressed out so they're over or slightly wider than the feet. Your back wants to be straight, so we're not rounded through the spine, but holding this for as long as you can during that 2 minute period. If that's 2 minutes, brilliant. Maybe you don't need to be doing the exercise though. If you're struggling to hold that for 2 minutes, then I think this is a great way to build up. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. There's your 2 minutes done. If you can do it, try and get lower. See how low you can hold it. Keep those heels on the floor. That will start to stretch more into the ankles, into the feet, and give you a bit more mobility through there. This is a big, weak link for a lot of my patients with low back or knee pain. So it's all about identifying the weakness and finding something that you can do easily and routinely. Something else that might be a little bit more of a common problem might be a little bit of shoulder stiffness. I see a lot of my patients come in with very rounded shoulders, and you can really make a difference on that. Easily while brushing your teeth, you can just take a hand up and behind the head, not pressing on the head. You're not bringing the head forwards to get the hand back there. You're just trying to straighten up the spine, bring the hand and the elbow back, and just rest those fingers on there. If you do that while you're brushing your teeth, you can do a minute like this, or a good test for your coordination then to swap over and do it with the other hand. That might be another weakness, coordination or planning how to move or making the coordination happen. A brilliant way of making that kind of cross-firing happen is to try and learn to do something with your non-dominant hand. So in this case, that would be learning to brush your teeth with your left hand. You'll feel very clumsy to start with. You might, poke yourself in the back of the mouth a little bit, but actually it's a brilliant way of learning that fine control between your left and your right hand, which for some people is a weakness. If you haven't got that control, or if you've had a nerve injury or a neurological problem, actually relearning an activity like that can be really, really good going forwards. So there's 3 easy tricks. 1, bringing back the shoulder, not arching the back and not bringing the head forwards, to open the chest out and bring the shoulders into play. We've got single leg stance, probably the easiest one to do, which will help a huge number of people with poor coordination and control in the lower limb, the knee, the low back. And finally, a nice, easy strength exercise, which is standing down in that squat and holding that until you absolutely can't hold it anymore. Last point, We can always work on a little bit of flexibility, but this is very, very specific to your individual case. Some of you will be more flexible than me in my hamstrings, and you'll be able to go straight down to the toes and bend forwards in that direction. That's not a useful stretch for you. You've got to work on your weaknesses. That's where you can be most efficient. So if you've got problems with the hamstring, you can do a simple hamstring stretch, keeping the toes down. Pulling the toes up only tensions the sciatic nerve. It doesn't make much of a difference to your hamstring. So you might get slightly slower results, but they're much safer. So we can stretch the hamstring. Another 2 minutes, keeps you nice and close to the sink. And the other one for the other side could be a lunge where you're stretching on the front of the thigh, or pushing forwards to stretch the ankle, or stretching the calf with the heel down on the back leg. Really easy variations, but as I say, talk to your chiropractor, your massage therapist, your sport trainer, whichever person you think will be able to identify that weak link. See what you can find. 2 minutes, twice a day, and you'll notice the difference very, very quickly. Focus on those weak links, and it starts to build that habit, build that kind of positive steps for that New Year's resolution, or for whatever you want to aim for in this year. Thank you very much.